What up? It's the voice of the unit, DJ Chaotic, representing that G unit. G unit. And you are tuned into the #1 podcast, the Right Now podcast. Pay attention to my brothers, JC and KJ. Y'all know
what's going on, everybody. This is Right Now podcast with JC and KJ.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody locked in and tuned in with us as we go ahead and start this episode. KJ, I know we got a topic that we're going to kind of dive into.
Okay.
Before we do that, man, I want to say thanks to everybody who's been following, liking, subscribing, sharing, doing all that. We do appreciate you guys. We know without you guys, we really wouldn't be where we are.
Nah, sure wouldn't.
Yeah, we'd be somewhere, but probably
you
just not right here.
Not exactly in the location.
Right here. Yeah. So this past weekend.
Okay. Which is July?
It was 4th of July weekend, but we went out. Sunday night.
It was outside.
I think it was Sunday. Anyhow, let me see. I sent you a text. All I sent you was this song, right? It's called Homegirl. Not that one. Right, so I sent you this song for everybody who's listening. The song I sent to you was Homegirl, right? Pull it up for those who don't know what the song is. I got it playing in the background to tell the story right now, right?
Okay.
So we're at the we're at the spot.
Wow.
This group of people come in, right?
Okay.
It's not often you see one of these out. Right?
One of these.
One of these.
Okay.
Right?
This song is wild.
It is wild.
This song is wild.
Right? So as we're watching this group come in, they stand like right in front of us.
Okay.
Right? And I ain't one to judge and talk about nobody, really, right? Let's pause it right there.
Let's just pause it right there.
Let's pause it right there. That was it. Let me pull up these lyrics right here.
Song is wild, bro.
And so, you don't really hear this song too often anyways, right? At the club, I feel like. I don't hear it that often out here in the north.
Okay.
Where we are, right? So, yeah. So, it was a chick, another chick, a guy, and another chick.
Okay.
Right? One of these chicks, you probably, like I said, you may have seen one of these type of people.
Okay.
You may have seen out before.
Okay.
One place I know for sure you've never seen them is at a grocery store. Okay? I know that for a fact. Nobody has ever seen a little person, AKA a midget, whatever you want to call them, at a grocery store.
Never seen them at the grocery store.
You've never seen one at a grocery store.
Never.
Right?
They be at their own. We discussed this already.
But they was out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this chick, this person
Young
was
lady.
out. And then the DJ decides to play this song. Right? I don't think nobody's really listening. But as she stands kind of by the DJ, this part hits. Right here. Oh. Hey, why is not anyhow? I don't know why. Anyhow, it's the words say, I fit in tight places like a midget. Now, I immediately looked up at
Gotta
Brandy.
be on purpose, bro.
I immediately looked up at Brandy and said, did he do that on purpose?
Yes.
And again, I don't think people.
Because you can change the song.
I don't know
at
too
any
many
time.
people know the song or whatever. I don't think they realized
This song is wild.
that's what he was. Yeah. Right. And so I was blind. Immediately looked up. Was like, did he do that on purpose?
100%.
So was the DJ kind of being petty?
Low key.
Low key.
Low key.
Can DJs be petty?
Hell yes.
They can, right?
Remember the DJ is in control of the vibe.
Everything.
The DJ is in control of the vibe.
Yeah.
The whole vibe.
Okay.
And so if I wanna, you know what I'm saying, I see the brokies out there, we gonna play songs that get the women to start calling niggas broke. We wanna point out, a flaw. We know the lyrics. We know they know the position in the songs where they can make specific. You can make a whole song. You can diss somebody.
Yeah.
By being a DJ, by cutting up the songs.
Okay.
In a row.
Yeah.
Just to cut the songs up in a row. You can kill them by the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Or you can kill them by the song title. So now we dissing you by playing this song. It's called this, and this call's called this, and this song's called this, and then you put it in a row and it's a sentence, and I'm dissing you directly. Like, you can go really, really deep into it. Because the DJ is 100% in control of the vibe.
100%. So I just thought that was hilarious.
Because do you ever, because if you really think about it, like, why do you go out?
Just to have a good time, to chill.
What helps you, what sets the mood for the good time?
Just depends on, some people have different vices.
Nah, minus the vice.
Okay, just the music, the atmosphere.
And what the atmosphere is usually generally created by the DJ.
The DJ, if there's a DJ there.
If there's a DJ.
Yeah.
But there's somebody
an MC, something.
Right.
You're there for that specific reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why
you're not going to these places for the food right now. You're going out here for the atmosphere, the vibe, the hookahs, the vibe, all that.
The vibe.
Yeah.
So depending on, that's why you follow these people around. Like, this nigga got good energy.
Yeah.
So wherever that nigga, I want to be there.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm gonna have a good time there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, the DJ, the host, the MC, the vibe setter, probably the most important thing. They can, woo-wee.
Yeah. They can have a party here. They can party have it here. They can have a party there. He gonna control the party wherever you want to take it to. But when I heard that part of that song come up, I immediately said he had to do that shit on purpose.
That was intentional. It had to be intentional. Lucky you didn't Michael Watson.
Man, say, and again, I don't think many people were paying attention, but maybe it's just because I'm super petty, and I was just
game recognized game.
That's what it is.
Game recognized game.
Okay.
Salute. If I was the DJ,
salute, young.
Yeah, salute, young thug.
That's what I should have did. I should have looked at him and said,
I got you.
Salute, bro. I see what you did there.
I see what you did. You spun that in there real quick.
Yeah. One more thing, bro. I want to kind of. I don't know if you saw my post on social media.
Okay. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of them.
Okay, so I made one not too long earlier today. So we both working out.
Yeah.
Right. Anyhow, before I started working out, everybody said I look like a big D Will.
I mean, you did.
This
is facts. And but
you like a fat
but
D
he
Will.
wasn't big. Nah, he wasn't a fat D Will.
They telling me what I look like. You like a D Will, like a fat, a non-hooper version D Will.
You look like D Will to me,
right.
like directly, like 100%. Because remember, we 2012.
Yeah. So now, my partner, Dennis.
Okay.
You know, me and him sat down a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
He looks at me in the elevator and just busts out laughing.
Okay.
And tells me, man, anybody ever tell you look like somebody? Just some certain person.
Who?
I said, I ain't never heard that shit in my life.
Not in your life?
Never heard that shit in my life, right? Now, about an hour later, or 20 minutes later, his wife come in. She said the same shit. Now I already know. The game. Game recognized game, right?
One set it up for the other.
I get it. The alley-oop. Now today.
Two people now.
Now today, somebody I know that they know they don't know each other.
Okay.
Completely opposite ends of the world, atmosphere. I know they don't know each other.
Okay, fair.
So I pull up, my QCM, he's as wide as it can be, right?
Okay.
We chopping it up. He goes get something to drink, comes back. Rolls my window down, he rolls window and says, hey man, anybody ever say, man, you look just like, and then he said the same shit that Dennis said, right? And so I had to call, and he ain't answer. So I called my wife, and I was like, hey man, this dude just said the same shit Dennis and them said. I was like, man.
Plant.
So.
It's a plant. You gotta keep the rules going.
So.
Gotta keep the rules going.
These jokers are telling me, Dallas native.
Okay. Fair.
The D.O.C.
It's the beard.
That's all I'm saying.
It's the beard.
That's all. It's the light skin
and
the fairness. Yeah, the beard.
It's the light skin.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I went from damn near having diabetes, diabetic Hooper.
Yeah. To the D.O.C.
To the D.O.C.
I can like, if I close my eyes faintly,
you can see it. Okay.
I can kind of see it. I mean, you got the beard. See, at that time you didn't have the beard.
The grayness also.
Yeah. So you got the beard.
By the way,
if
real
you
quick.
Can.
Okay, I'll put a picture right
You get
here
so y'all can see. Side by side.
But just so y'all know,
The D.O.C.
For some reason, this probably won't be great next week. I don't know what might happen, but it's a possibility.
What you gotta say? What to say?
What you mean? I don't know. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
No, are you doing the Fat Joe or the Emmett Smith?
I'm just neither one. I'm just, I've been praying.
I've been praying on it?
Yeah. I've been praying.
I've
been praying about it.
Okay.
Let's see
so
how
as the Lord told you,
let's see.
Are we doing the Fat Joe?
Hey, we'll see which way he leads me. All right.
Or the Emmett Smith.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
No.
But, yeah, so I'm
like... birthday coming up, too. That makes sense.
I'm like, I am not the D.O.C. Don't look nothing like the D.O.C.
Nah, I can't see the D.O.C.
Don't look nothing like D-Will.
No, my nigga. 100... At that time, D-Will, for sure. Nah. For sure. With the short, when you had the short, with the fade.
Yeah.
And then we hooped too, you had the headband on.
Yeah. I ain't wearing no headband. I ain't had no headband, nigga. Don't set me up for the okie dokes, nigga.
Thought I was hooping with D-Will. Nah, but you did have to lay down the...
That's all I could do, brush that shit down. As much as I could, hold on to it.
You was D-Will, bro. You're lucky. I might have to snake you with a throwback.
Nah. But yeah, so let's go ahead and kind of dive into today's topics, man. You said we were gonna chop it up about
So we were talking about the other day. We always talk about the generational wealth.
Yeah.
And some of the steps and stuff like that in order for us to try to set our youth up for success in the future.
Yeah.
By passing on things.
Financial things. A lot of times it's monetary.
A lot of it, most of the times it's monetary. But we never talk about generational wisdom.
The wisdom. Yeah.
So what do you do with the stuff? How do you continue to pass on the stuff?
Yeah. How do you apply it so they can apply it to their lives?
Because statistically speaking, according to the research, it's usually the generational wealth stops at the second, 70% of the time. It makes it to the third. At the third, 90% of the time, it's dead. So I feel like part of that is because we instill to get you the stuff, but we don't tell you how to keep it.
Yeah, because we don't want you living like we did.
Right. We don't want you to live like us.
I don't want you to live like me, so you gotta get out here and do this. You gotta get out here and do that. That's what you're pushing on to us. Yeah,
but like how we got to where we were is because how some of the shit that we did. So, the grit, the grind,
So let's talk about that real quick. Then let's discuss the really difference, because some people may say teaching somebody the generational financial wealth, generational wealth versus the generational wisdom, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it. See, the thing about it is it's not a versus. It shouldn't be a versus.
Well, so I'm saying, what's the difference? So I'm saying there has to be somewhat of it. So that's what I mean. Like, if someone's telling me,
one is the actual item itself, and then the other is how to how to keep it, how to make it better, and then make it so that you're able to pass it on to the next layer. So it's like what are some of the things that you went through? What are some of the because we're always trying to shield you. We're trying to shield you guys from. This is what I had to go through at that time, so I don't want you to have to deal with that kind of stuff. But like, if you really break that down, the stuff that you went through, we're not also passing the lessons that we learned from those trials and tribulations that we went through. So they get to see the finished product, but they don't necessarily see the grind that got to the finished product.
Okay.
So you're living off the finished product. Well, what about how you gonna grind it to get to the next level? Type stuff. That make sense?
Yeah. What about as far as like, so where you want to start at with this then?
Shoot, I mean, we just chop it up, like, you know what I'm saying? Or if you have a particular...
No, I don't have a particular, like, so, okay, so when we talk about generational, you don't want to say you don't call it, you said you don't want to call it what?
One is, the generational wealth is the actual items itself.
Yeah.
So, the land or whatever, or the money or whatever. And then generational wisdom is the actual how.
And you feel like we get left out on the house?
Yes.
The house, 100%. Absolutely, 100% correct. So what would that look like as far as for us, right? So we can't, we're already trying to push on to the next level for our kids, right?
Correct.
So what's that look like for us as far as teaching them the how, right? Because us telling them to go get a job and them learning that tool, that's a how on how to get right.
I mean, it is kind of, but you got to remember that, like, you know, see, like for example, like in your situation specifically, you have an item that you're going to be passing potentially, right? That you could pass, you know, the business in itself, right? So, what are the things that you have to go through to make the business work? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, sometimes you just, you know, I just inherit a business. Well, shit. Well, do you know how the day-to-day operations work? Do you know taxes? Do you know payroll? Do you know that kind of stuff? So that way you can continue to maintain it.
Yeah.
So that way it can continue going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to know the ins and outs of the thing that you're getting, that you're trying to pass on.
Do you think that this like Bella, Ethan, you know, that generation, do you feel like they're going to be more ahead of the game?
100%.
Right. So in that case, how do you feel like? What do you think we should be trying to? And we're talking about kids that are 12 and under right now, right? So
because they're already starting off at a technologically advanced.
100%. Yeah.
Now we got to grow up with the technology.
With technology, that's why it's easy for us to adapt. Most part,
right.
Especially if you were into Nintendos and all that,
right.
computers, it's easier for you to adapt for those who really weren't.
Right.
So
we're like we're considered like the portal era.
Yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah.
But like we learn with it as it evolved. We evolved with it. They're starting off with the new shit. They don't know about the old shit.
Yeah, it's too whack. What is that?
And they don't. And none of the new stuff. Some of the old stuff don't even exist no more.
Yeah, it won't even work.
So we can't even go back and talk about like CDs and tapes. Well, we used to talk about CDs early.
Yeah.
But everything's streaming now, right? So we have to learn that they're starting off with how to upload and download. We had the 56K. So they're gonna be so far advanced in the technology stage with it, where they'll be able to take if we pass on the correct information for them, they'll be able to take that to another level due to the technological advances that they're gonna have. We do TikToks, they do TikToks. We'll hit and they'll blow. That's the difference. So, you know, as long as we're able to, you know, get them involved with the stuff in a manner that, you know, will allow for it to be passed on with a, you know, with an advantage, you know, we should be able to get it over to the next level.
Yeah.
As long as things continue to go in a positive manner, but you gotta know the ins and outs. You gotta know the why. Figure out. You gotta know what the why is. We gotta make sure that we let them know what the why is.
Yeah. So I guess so. Would you say it's more important to start teaching them the why?
Yeah.
At an early age, right? And that could even be why it's important to not only get good, you know, a straight honor roll or whatever it is, but you know, why it's important to play sports,
right?
Or whatever it is, but right. And then I guess, you know, that also upholds a different level of accountability as they get older, right? So, but let's stick to kind of like the basics of what we're talking about here: generational wealth and wisdom,
right?
Right. So we know wealth is money, financial, whatever, right? So our goal is to start enforcing the wisdom behind it, because we are just leaving them money. We unfortunately pass away. They can bury us, and then all of a sudden we have money, right? They've got a little bit of money in their pocket, right?
Yeah. What do I do with it though?
What do they need to do with it?
Spend it,
right? So we need to be educating them on, at an early age, the wisdom and why that's important, right? Wisdom. And so what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that? And when do you start that?
I mean, I think it kind of depends, really. Like, do you want, like, while your kid is still in their not necessarily understanding phases, to be all caught up in that stuff? Or do you want them to still allow childhood? You know what I'm saying? Like, be a kid. Like, let a kid be a kid. Then when it's time, like, you know, there's just a certain level of maturity or something like that where it becomes time. Because shit, like Shaq was saying, like just because you my kid don't mean you get to.
So let me ask this question then.
Don't mean you get to get in on the bag. I did the work.
Let's talk about that, right? So Shaq did the work, yada yada yada, right? So let's take a basic mom and dad family, not someone who has a company, not that kind of like a mom and pops. They work 9 to 5s, putting in their work. They got a 401k. They've got all this, right? They've got everything set up so when they do pass away, the kids will be financially okay.
Right, you're financially set.
Right? So how are you guys, or how are they teaching their kids what to do with this, right? Because the catch-22, let's kind of talk about like last week, right? Would you trust an out-of-shape trainer? Right? So that, and so that's kind of like where I'm my question is like, how do we teach this then, right? Because this is that's a great ass question.
You gotta let them see the work. You gotta show them the work. You gotta let them see it. So, but you gotta make sure that they're at a reasonable level of emotional intelligence to handle that kind of stuff. So you probably want to wait. I mean, it depends. Each situation is different.
Because
if you're just coming with an inheritance and you're just coming through with money, then it's not necessarily that. That you can start at that at how to manage money at any age, low key, because you know how like, because I've been seeing these TikToks where like you gotta do chores, you get chores, you earn money, and then you take that money and you purchase things inside the home. They're already teaching you budgeting and money and stuff like that. You can start that at any age. As long they gotta know how to count though. I can't teach you math if you can't count. If you don't know 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 10, 10 minus 1 is 9.
Yeah.
Then I can't really teach you. I can't teach you how to budget.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're at a point to where you actually know that if this is going to be a passage of funds directly, then yeah, that's going to be, you're going to have to know how to, you can create budgets. You can start that at any age. You can, because, I don't remember getting allowances, but I heard about allowance. You just give them money, and then, this is your money, this is your budget. So you already starting with a budget, so you know how to deal with money, how to manage that. You want to teach about, I'm 42 years old, bro. I learned about stocks in the COVID era. So was that 5 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm way behind the curve. So you can start with that. That's how to invest money. So investments. You can teach how to, what did they ever, see the thing about it is like we're expecting.
So all right, let's pause because right now we're jumping everywhere right now because let's focus.
No, you asked the question that and maybe I'll tie it together. Maybe it'll make sense. You asked me like, well, what if you just get a 401k? How do you teach? No. I
didn't ask what if you get a 401k. I'm just saying like, for example, people who just have 9 to 5 jobs, right?
Right.
You guys are working. People are just working 9 to 5s.
Right.
And they're almost living
check low key,
mm-hmm. Right? So the question is, if I'm trying to teach my family, right, my kids,
Joe, regular Joe what is it, Joe the plumber?
Yeah. How do I show them what generational wealth and generational wisdom is?
I think in that kind of situation, it's probably a little tougher.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to get to. How do we talk about that? Because like you just said, right? That's you right now, right? Because you just learned about stocks. You're just learning. Yeah. So what's the fact in what?
So like for me, in my scenario, so we would start teaching about money.
Well, I mean, you got other ones.
No, I mean like in that scenario, like we would start teaching about money. You know what I'm saying? At a reasonable time, once you can start counting and stuff like that. See, we would start like working that kind of stuff in.
All right, let's act like we got 13-year-old, or 14-year-old in the house.
So then that time we should have some type of way for you to accumulate money. So therefore, you learn about work, what it's like to do work in order to earn. So you're not entitled. So you don't feel a sense of entitlement. And then the money in which that you earn, you gotta have to utilize that in order to take advantage of your, entertainment.
Okay.
So now you learn the value of a dollar. You learn about saving. So you start in that type of situations.
Do you think it's easier to hear that from someone all right, so like, for example, as well, right? We've talked about toxic relationships, how, I don't know if you heard, but like, I didn't really see what love was inside my house, right? So I didn't know growing up what a marriage is supposed to look like.
Right.
I didn't understand what it's supposed to be, right? But if my mom was gonna try to tell me what, how to have generational wealth, I wouldn't.
Right.
If she was gonna give me marriage advice, it'd be hard for me to take it from her. So if I'm struggling and if I'm coming to home complaining about work, because it happens, right? When complaining about work, I'm stressed out about work, even at a 13, 14, they're seeing this.
Yeah.
Right? And you're telling them, hey, you gotta get a job. Well, I don't want no fucking job. If I'm gonna have to come home stressed every day like you, like why the fuck? Like that's like here's my question. Like how do we teach this and how do we show them? How do we teach it, bro? Like how do we?
So I think that is going to start to tap into how you process things and stuff like that, like your maturity or your emotional, your emotional levels and stuff like that. Because I may come home, and you might get secondary information. You don't necessarily know what the day-to-day looks like, and you don't, because we pay more attention to like the outbursts, like the negative outbursts, more so than like the positive times. Because there's sometimes you come home for happy, but no one ever really like highlights that. So it's okay to have a bad day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just got to be able to talk through that type of stuff too. Like, and then also if I'm trying to be, you're supposed to be able to process that too as the adult too. So that way they don't necessarily see but there's all bad downside to it, because like if you're having a you want to get $20, you got to mow the lawn. Well, shit, you don't want to mow the lawn, but you do it. When you're finished, you're a little frustrated. Life, so it gives you life lessons. You got to give them real life lessons, real life scenarios, so you're not surprised when that stuff happens, because it's gonna happen. These twists and turns happen. Life is not rainbows and cupcakes and sprinkles like we wish it would.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, there's gonna be some adversity. So then you gotta teach them how to navigate through adversity or adverse situations.
Yeah, that's it right there. Teaching them how to go through the life lessons, and like you said, the adverse lessons, right? How to overcome all those obstacles. How to overstand everything. Yeah. Right.
Because if you say if I'm using the mow the lawn as your chore, lawnmower don't be acting right sometimes. You gotta put gas in the lawnmower. Like every situation is not gonna be perfect. The random rain pop up, like you want that money so you can get those sneaks.
Yeah.
All right, well, you do your work and I get you there. Well, now you gotta learn how to save to get it there. Now you got real life scenarios.
So, all right. So yeah, you're telling them you gotta save, but do you feel like it's because kids aren't dumb, right? And if we're gonna teach them something, do you feel like is it hard? Is it how do we teach someone? Do you feel like it's easier for you to teach your own family member versus them taking classes somewhere?
It could be. So that's the thing. That's the thing about it. It doesn't necessarily have to be. So part of it can be you. Like if you can do it and you got the time, not the time, but your efforts and your mannerisms and how your day-to-day life looks like, and they're able to see that and also formulate like their patterns and stuff like that, base their stuff off of that, but then also take like a class on the side. Like it doesn't matter necessarily where it comes from, right? As long as the household is always going to be your main source of where you get a lot of your life lessons come from there. But if you take a course or you go to a class or something like that, we need to have more of those type of classes in school, though.
Yeah, well,
for real.
The reason why I'm saying that is because, again, do you feel like going to the fat trainer situation? Like, do you feel like if someone was to ask me and I was working at a bar, right? I was a server married, she did her thing, whatever, right? And I'm trying to teach my kid. You feel like the kid's gonna, like, man, you've been a server, bro. Like,
yeah, but I've been a server, but like, see.
So how do we? That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you, in those type of scenarios, how do we teach? What do we need to be teaching, or is it something that we need to be doing ourselves? Like, do you feel like that in those type of scenarios, that is it too late?
No, it's never too late because you should always be learning.
There you go.
So it should never be too late. You should always be learning.
There you go.
So you should be always trying to evolve and trying to add more information to your. The more information you got, knowledge is power, bro.
Knowledge is power.
So
bro.
every day you should try to learn a new thing or add something to a thing that you already learned. So it doesn't
take much. It doesn't take long to learn in this time of day.
Not 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
10 or 15 minutes.
You can listen to a YouTube.
Hey, man.
You can watch a few YouTubes.
That's all you gotta
do.
do.
A lot of things. So in those scenarios, like you're saying, so going back, just want to kind of touch back to that service scenario, like, all right, maybe you don't learn how to manage money per se from that, but you learn work ethic from that. You learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to. So those are the lessons that you can learn from that. And then if you want to learn how to what's a
But not only that,
IRA.
So not only that, when if someone wants to downplay being a server is way more than that. Server is almost his own entity as well, because people will go to bars just because he's that server. If he goes to a different bar, they go to that bar. I've seen people leave because servers, certain servers.
He's bartending over here now.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? All right, bet. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Cool and everything like that. I'm finna go over there. Yeah. Don't get a bartender DJ combination.
Yeah.
Kill the game.
Yeah, not facts.
But yeah, so you learn like the lessons that you're learning like aren't necessary, but you gotta like make sure that they understand that like this is the why. People always operate off the what is it, the within?
Yeah, what's in it for me?
So what's the why? What's the why behind it all? Well, I do all this because da 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 da.
Yeah. The biggest key, no matter what it is you're doing, you gotta start with that. The why.
The why. Lead with the why.
The why. No matter what it is, if you're about to propose to somebody, why?
Why?
Why? What's the why behind it?
What's the why?
Right? If you're about to leap out on faith, start a new job, why? If you're about to want to start losing weight,
why?
Why? Everything there's a why. You have to know your why in order to be, for whatever you want to do for it to be successful. If you don't have a why, really you're just doing it because you want to, because you're winging it. I mean, you're gonna have fun doing it possibly, but you're probably not gonna complete it, right? Because you
don't have a reason.
You don't have your reason.
What's the reason? Yeah. No, facts. Because I as I think about like the multiple missions and failed experiments that I've tried in my life, like there was just because of, I don't know. There's no because.
And also now with that why, you gotta have a plan.
Gotta have a plan.
Right? And this is the same thing that you should be teaching. This is where you're teaching them, right? The why, the plan.
The why and the plan.
Right? Because if you don't have a plan.
Fail to plan to fail.
It's more than that. Like if you don't have a plan, you're really just bullshitting around. And if you just bullshitting around, why? You ain't found that why. You know what I'm saying?
This song is wild too.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Those two key things, man, no matter what it is that you're doing, your why, your plan, and execution, right? Got to have an execution behind everything.
Yeah, I think, I think we, did you ever talk about money in your house?
Yeah. It was always, we ain't got none.
Nah, yeah,
yeah.
That's it. We ain't never got none.
Ain't got none.
We ain't never got none.
That was it.
And it's kind of like, it's low-key like not really supposed to talk about it like as a kid to your adult or your adult to your kid. Well, why? Why is it like that? So don't be afraid to talk about money in the household. Let them understand. You know what I'm saying? The value of a dollar. If you don't understand the value of a dollar and you think money growing on trees, see the thing, like now I guess I'm on the old side now. I'm saying like you think money grow on trees, like I'm actually saying that. Yeah, I did. I really did. I thought there was a money tree outside. It just they ain't harvested yet. We ain't got no money. The money tree ain't good. Oh, okay, cool. Well, when you gotta work and you gotta earn, then you understand the value of a dollar. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to talk about money in the house. Don't be, you know. I understand the allowances and stuff now. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because we would just do chores because to keep the house clean.
Cause I said so.
Or I mean the infamous.
What do you mean why?
The infamous. Because it's so.
Go wash some dishes. Though.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Because I said so. Yeah. Because I said so.
Yeah.
The ultimate ender of everything.
You know, Brandy and Steve, they both sent me this thing talking about kids. You know, so on the flip before we get started, I don't know if you saw that Rush Hour.
Yes.
They put out a thing saying
that's crazy, bro.
That this was made back in the day, so don't get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
It was made different time. Don't you get your feelings hurt. We can say this type of shit. Don't sue us. Don't cancel culture us.
That's crazy that you have to do that.
Yeah, too. Right. So it reminds me of this little meme or thing that Brandy and Steve both sent me about 80 kids, how parents would be canceled these days.
Bruh. Like if you really, but like.
Go outside and don't come home to the street light. Like you said, go outside and don't come home to the street. You can't, shit, okay, you gonna be in trouble this day. Why you been outside? Where you? My mom said I can't come home to.
My mama said I can't come home until the street lights.
Who's your mama?
Yeah, what's her name?
Okay, that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Where you live at again?
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy. Like, but I feel like I learned a lot of lessons during that period of time.
Hey man, I learned some lessons I wasn't supposed to. Man, I was smoking so many squares off the ground, bro.
Not the squares off the ground.
Come on, man. We was bad, bro.
You said I was bad. Not the cigarette.
Hey, we was weird. We did all types of shit with them white kids, man.
You know what? I believe that actually. I actually believe that. Torturizing them. But yeah, I feel like I learned a lot of lessons in that during that period of time.
Yeah, 100%.
One, responsibility, because you had to make sure you got some food sometimes.
Yeah.
Hydrate.
Well, you either gonna eat or you gonna go to bed. You gonna eat what we have, that's it. There ain't no options.
There's no options.
There ain't no options. You either eat, you can't do that these days.
Nah. Starvation.
Yeah.
Or you be like, I'm not gonna eat.
They tell me I had to go to bed. I wasn't gonna eat.
Couldn't eat. Like, damn. Okay, who? What's your mom's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you live at? CPS. Yeah, nah. That's crazy. But yeah, you be outside, you gotta basically outside you was low key like your own independent person.
Man, we had clubhouses.
Clubhouses?
Man, we built some leftover boxes. Okay, say less.
Say less.
We had 2-story clubs. Well, they as big as they could be. You know, we had some big ones.
Yeah.
Pause. Yeah.
Nah, you talking about boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got big boxes. Crazy word.
Yeah.
But nah, like, okay, one, you out there.
We put signs on no punks allowed.
No punks allowed.
Yeah,
nah, they can't say that.
We did. We said no punks allowed, and then we still, no shout out to Kevin. I said because we was beefing. No punks allowed, especially Kevin. I said.
No, that means you.
We was beefing. Yeah, that was that way. No popped him in his mouth. Yeah, it means you. Especially you, motherfucker. Come to this clubhouse if you want to. See what happens. Nah. Come to 312 if you want to. Nah. It's a 312 over here, man. Nah. Yeah. They ain't doing that. They ain't building no clubhouses no more.
Nah, they ain't. Actually, nah, think about it. Nah, I had a little clubhouse too, actually. A little bit. There was a little one in the backyard.
I even had like a fake little tree house.
Nah, I'm not.
I said fake little tree house. Like, yeah.
Fake ain't nobody finna climb in no trees.
Yeah, you know.
We're not finna. I mean, we'll climb in the trees like to play around and stuff.
It was more like a bush house. It's more like a bush house, you know.
Bush house, sticker bush.
Yeah, it wasn't really a tree house, you know. It really is a platform. I don't know what you call it, but I had something back there.
Yeah, no, because back in the day, bro, like, didn't have to come home till the street lights came on. So you had to learn time management. Now to make sure you get home. First of all, what time do street lights come on?
7:45.
About 7:30, 7:45. Yep. Okay. Are we gonna be able to finish this football game before the street lights come on? Okay.
If not,
let me go. Can we go home first?
Go home, preempt. Hey, I probably won't be able to make it. I might be home a little late.
Or hope that the street light is on your street.
Or a little longer.
And you can play right there under the street light.
Nice. I'm around the corner, Mom. We're gonna finish the game.
Finish the
Is it
game,
okay if
okay.
I stay up just about 15 more minutes longer than the lights come on?
Yeah. Negotiations.
Just don't make me come look for
Don't
you.
make me come.
Don't make me come
looking for you.
Just don't make me come. Don't make me call your name and come look for you.
Don't make me come looking for you. It's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Just don't make me come look for you. Just,
Don't make me, oh man.
even if you start heading home and you see that car pull up,
Yeah,
it's too late. It's too late.
It's too late.
Because you done made her.
She's in the car.
Yeah, you done made her.
She came out the
Put the
house.
robe on and get in the car.
Out the house.
Yeah.
You already know.
I
2
told
days.
you. I told you. Don't make me come now.
Don't make me come.
Now you're not going outside.
No
Yeah.
more. You got. Damn, and it's a Friday too. Damn.
Now you're not going
Weekend
outside.
over.
Yeah.
Weekend trash.
Yep. See him outside. Like, come knock on the door. Just go knock. Go knock. See if I can come outside.
Not the old cousin. That's the old cousin spend the night trip.
Come out. See if I can go knock on.
See,
And then you standing by the thing listening.
listening. Yes. Can he come outside? No, he didn't come home
Yeah.
before street lights yesterday.
He
Was
back
he
in your
out with him
room.
yesterday too?
Back in your room, mad, crying.
Sick.
Sick in the mud.
Sick. Sent the wrong homie. The wrong homie knocked on the door.
Yeah. But I learned the game, so my sister had a boyfriend. Once I got in trouble, hey Jimmy, go tell my mom you want to go to Crawford to go hoop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you. I can't go outside, but let me go. I said, let me go with you.
No, my uncle used to do me with that one.
Yeah.
My uncle used to save me all the time.
Yeah, I should let me come with you.
Yeah, Uncle Shanny used to save me all the time with that.
Mhm.
With the tell my mom he finna take me somewhere and we go somewhere fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
used to save me all the time with that one.
Yeah,
I
that was
love
it.
That shit. We be sick. Everybody all have fun. Looking out the window, just
Yeah.
with the Squidward face.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. Yeah, you learn a lot of stuff though during that period of time. But that that was a good meme though. Yeah. That streetlight one was crazy though. But everybody knows it though. Everybody know that rule.
Yeah.
So it was the national rule.
Yeah.
It must have been.
That's a game you got to play with these kids nowadays, see if they know the answer to. When the street light comes on, what
you supposed
happens?
to be?
They gonna say, shh. Are you in the car?
Yeah.
Walking? I don't know. At the house, you dumb.
You supposed to be in the crib, or at least on. It depends, or at least on the block.
Yeah.
But you probably should have checked in before the street light came on, and then you can go back outside.
Yeah.
But you gotta stay on the block.
Yeah. And then, it's cool when you lived on the street and everybody lived out there.
Yeah.
Then you just played right there in front of the house for the most part. You
Get another couple hours.
Yeah.
And then all right. My mom said I gotta go in the house 9:00.
Yeah. We would chill. We would get on the roof, look at the stars and shit. We didn't have nothing to do. We had chain. We hit around the concrete, make sparks all night. Wait, boy,
We did.
We played Chinese.
We played dumb stuff.
We played Chinese freeze tag. Remember that one? Chinese
freeze tag?
Whoa.
Eight?
You probably can't say that these days, but I don't know. Chinese freeze tag.
Freeze tag. What was that one?
You had to slide on their legs to unfreeze them.
Oh.
You got to slide on their legs to unfreeze them.
Okay.
And then you had touch tag or one leg tag or if you had to be on your knee if you got froze and if they tagged you,
That was too much.
We was doing some athletics. Nigga.
I wasn't playing tag. Y'all was doing obstacle course.
Yeah. And then we all.
Wait, how do you play how do you play slide through the legs tag?
Yeah,
like that one.
Yeah, Chinese tag.
Yeah.
Chinese freeze tag.
Slide through the leg tag.
Chinese freeze tag.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
once you got first.
you have to play in grass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there wasn't a lot of grass. We played
Okay.
a lot of concrete.
Yeah, just regular tag.
Regular tag, freeze tag, but I think we did have one like that where you had to go through the legs. But I don't think that's what we called it. I know we didn't call it that because
They probably call it Korean freeze tag.
That's crazy.
We was calling it Asian. Y'all was calling
Asian tag.
No.
Crazy.
Chinese freeze tag. Yeah. Sorry out there to the Chinese community and Korean. Hope that wasn't offensive to you guys, but
Nah.
maybe y'all had American freeze tag. I don't know.
What American freeze tag mean?
Yeah. That's it. Gotcha. Yep. That's American freeze tag right there.
Frozen.
Yep.
You dumb.
Shit.
How do you get unfroze?
Yep. Hey.
Somebody else got to come behind you.
Mm-hmm. Just hit you up. But yeah. So just make sure back to generational freedom. Financial freedom, generational
Wisdom.
wisdom. Just make sure you're teaching as much as you can.
Teach as much. Each one teach one.
Yeah.
Make sure you teach as much as you can. Don't be afraid to talk about, the ups and downs of it, the struggles, the, work ethic, the, how to manage money, budgeting, giving real life scenarios, so that way you're not surprised by everything that happens. You just want to prepare them for the best as you can. And I know, like, we always talk about, like, we don't want you to go through this, so that way, we went through this, so you don't have to go through this. But you gotta remember, what about the mental toughness you got through that? What about the lessons that you learned through that? So if they don't ever have any of the adversity, then you never have any opportunities to grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
In those scenarios.
Just like right now. Right? You look outside, storming like a motherfucker out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we know, because where we are, just outside of the storm, it's sunlight. It's bright. It's nice. It's the sun coming back out.
Rainbow.
Just wait. Go through it. You gotta go through the storm.
Yeah.
You gotta go through the storm.
You gotta go through the storm.
Yeah.
It's always pretty nice at the storm.
Yeah.
You gotta get through there.
Go through that motherfucker. And don't be afraid to teach them. Don't be afraid to show them why. Don't be afraid to.
What's the why?
Don't be afraid to teach them and show them why you have to go through the storm, why you went through the storm, and just educating them, man, and then let them know. Yeah, don't be afraid to tell them everything, bro.
Right.
I mean, not everything, but don't be afraid to tell them the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
That's all I got, man. Make sure you continue to like, follow, subscribe,
share, tell your friend,
yeah,
tell your best friend,
yeah,
and
that's it, huh?
I think that's it. I think that's all you can do, right?
That's it. And
like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your best friend, tell your best friend to tell their best friend too. Matter of fact, pass it around.
Yep, we out.